issues. Hey guys, how we doing? Okay, there we go. All right. So, hopefully you can only just hear me one time and everything looks good. Cool. All right. Well, welcome to tonight's live stream. We're going to continue working on this Steampunk Raven, which is all kinds of very cool. Hi, Estella. Hi, Steve. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Mina. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Laura. So glad everybody can be here tonight. Steve, I'm doing well. Thank you. We are all doing well, and I hope that you guys are too. Hi, Terry. Hi, Jim. Okay. So, wonderful to be back. Thanks for kind of being okay with the time change. Not really a time change, but the date change. Hi, Angela. Hi, Helen. Hi, Meta. We've missed you too. Hi, Cap Sarah. Hi. Oh, that's you. I thought there was a cat. Okay. All right. Hi, Michelle. So glad that the lives will be on this time because it's Saturday in Australia, so you get to watch instead of working. Ah, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah, Friday, we're going to switch back to Friday nights for now, and hopefully our schedule will just kind of settle in place and everything will work out hunky-dory. So I do have a very big announcement. I'm going to probably tell everybody that big announcement later in the live stream, towards maybe like the last half hour or so. We'll kind of take a look at that new exciting thing. So, hi Larry. I'll keep you guys in suspense until then. All right. So, let's see. Last week we did quite a bit on the Steampunk Raven. And oops, no, not that one. I'll kind of move me out of the way here. So we started a lot with our dark values. I was going to kind of tweak them a little bit before the live stream started, but I had technical difficulties with cameras and all that, so I did not. But I would probably just go back and kind of touch up and darken some areas. But I think we're just going to dive right into this here and get going. I really like these little gears and cogs kind of on his chest. So let's start with some of that. And we'll zoom in a wee bit here. And see what we can do. I'm going to... Oh, it'll be fine. We'll be all right. I was going to cut off some of this white part here, but I don't have scissors. Hey, Will, can you grab me some scissors right here, please? Thank you. Because that'll make it easier. Just right there. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to take off a little bit of this white area here so we can get closer to what we're trying to see. Cool. There we go. Okay. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, this is a fun project. There's a lot of very intricate details, and probably I would not try to go much smaller than, what is this, like, I don't know, 9 by 12, 6 by 12, something like that. Having a bigger piece of wood would definitely help when it comes time to wood burning these tiny details. And we've got, you can add some shadows kind of some crescent-shaped shadows in here. That'll give these little areas some fun dimension. So right now I've got the burner on high. I don't know. We'll see how we do with this, but I might turn it down with some of the more intricate stuff. There's a lot of dark areas down here though, so we will do what we can. In fact, I think I'm just going to come down here and put in some of this dark area. It's not the best angle for this. So I hope everybody's doing well. It's amazing that we are already halfway through August. It's quite remarkable. Sophie Dog is very thirsty. Terry says, I know what it is with your burn compared to the picture. The picture is flat and dull and your burn is more alive. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's got a little bit of fine tuning yet to do, but it's coming along. This is a very fun project. We'll burn around this little hex bolt. Yeah, summer and August, everything is just flying by. Although I will say we're starting to get into some of, I think, my favorite time of the year. Most of the bugs are starting to go away, and the breeze has a little bit of a hint of cool to it, which is lovely. I have to say that July is probably my least favorite month at 9,000 feet. It's hot and there's a lot of flies. So after that goes away, it all turns out really nice. Terry says, halfway through August and heading to live stream number 200. Yep, we're in it for the long haul now, huh? I think it'll be fantastic, and just think of all the projects that we'll get done in the next 100 live streams. That'll be a lot of fun. You guys love fall. Yep. Yeah, Barbara, I've seen some stuff. It seems like the seasons are changing. I don't know. It seems like a little bit early to me. I wonder if we're in store for another hard winter. I don't know. But yeah, I love when it's just fall is a lovely time. It's nice and cool and warm in the daytime, cool in the evenings. Okay. So my softball season is over. Kind of sad about that, but we did well. In our bracket, our last game was on Tuesday, and it's what's called double elimination tournament. And so if you lose twice, you're done for the year. If you win, you keep playing. And we had lost. We were doing really good, and then we lost once. And so it was the championship night, and we had to. We played one team, and we beat them, and that put us into the championship round. But the people that we were playing against, they hadn't been beat yet. So we had to play them and beat them twice to win the championship, and we did. So that was a lot of fun. 3 very big games in one night. I'm definitely still sore, but a lot of fun and very proud of our team. Some of these people I've played with in high school, so it's great to continue that. that friendship. But I'll miss it till next year, that's for sure. You guys don't have any change in Florida? I suppose so. Yeah, I like the seasonal change. Steve, how thin is the air at 9,000 feet? Well, you walk up a flight of stairs and you feel it, you know. But I don't know if there's a way to measure the thinness of the air. You get used to it, so unless, like, I'll notice that the high altitude if I sit for a lot and do a lot of wood burning or office work and I'm not very active, and then I try to, you know, go downstairs and bring stuff up like a bag of sugar or whatever. You can feel it. It's kind of gets your heart thumping. All these little tiny lines here. And if I need to zoom in, let me know. Oh, Vivian, you got lots of bugs in Florida. Wow. Hi, Michael. Thanks, Meta. Yeah, the steampunk theme is very cool. I like it too. We'll have to do more of these. Okay, we've got some of our initial outlines started. And now let's add some of the darker values. We have some fun little lines here. Barbara says it's different when you are visiting out there and when you live out there. Yeah, when you live at 9,000 feet, you really don't notice it much unless you do like a lot of physical exertion. Other than that, you don't really notice it. So on these gears, I definitely want to make it darker towards the bottom. So you're almost not even going to quite see some of these gears at the bottom, and then it'll get more and more noticeable towards the top. Barbara says you had more energy at higher altitudes like Jackson Hole. What is the elevation there in Jackson? I've been there many times, but I can't recall the elevation. I'm trying to figure out, where am I trying to burn here? Tell you what, these lines can be a challenge. Especially when they're so small. So this little thing here, I'm making it look dented. Not on purpose, but my lines are really not very even. So this part of the cog gear stuff here is a little bit dented. That's okay. Barbara, over 6,000 feet in Jackson. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, the main thing is just to keep the darker areas towards the bottom of these gears and stuff. Oh my gosh, the elevation in Florida is 36-ish feet. That's amazing. Alrighty, well I think we're getting there on that one. Barbara says at West Point it's elevation 18. That's crazy. We go down to town and town is like, 5,400 feet. We think that's pretty low. Larry is saying, you wonder what the temperature is in Alaska. You'll be there next week going on a cruise. How cool. I have always wanted to do an Alaskan cruise. I think that'd be a hoot. You'll have to share some photos, Larry. Steve says that you enjoyed last week's Zoom and seeing everyone. Next time you'll have to use one of your laptops. Yeah, I know you were trying to log in there. We could see your icon, but we couldn't see you. So we missed being able to see you. It's so nice to finally get kind of a name to put to the faces, faces to the name. Same thing. So we'll have to do more Zoom sessions. That is the plan. Lisa's asking, am I close to Colorado Springs? No, that would be like a 6 or 7 hour drive from where I'm at. Fortunately, I am not anywhere near the metro areas. Hey,
never mind.
Got what you need? Okay.
If the people say hi, hi.
Okay. Barbara, you enjoyed seeing faces on the recording. Yes. Mina was huge and instrumental in the Zoom sessions, and so I'm so grateful that she recorded it and we were able to get that posted for you guys. Yeah, Terry, yeah, Zoom is a little bit of a new thing for me. But we'll get it. I know a lot of people use it. Hey, Lexi. Would you please let the dog out?
What?
Sophie needs out.
Okay.
Thank you. And everybody said hi, Lex.
Hello, people.
So we have some funny little shapes in here. I don't know what they are, but we'll just put them in there. Larry, yeah, it is. It was a fun get together on the Zoom call. We had some good questions, some good feedback, great time together, a lot of laughter. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we're getting that kind of started. Boy, these gear things here are pretty intricate, aren't they? So just kind of putting in the rough outlines on these gears. Okay, so looks like we have a little bit of a shadow at the top up here. Oh, sorry, I'm missing some stuff here. Barbara says that Bernie Bear was planning to post a new photo to celebrate the live stream, but we found him napping in his chair. Oh, how fun. Larry says that on the recording you asked that I asked what your favorite technique was that you've learned. Larry says it's hard for him to name just one, but he'd say how to do the trees and how to do the black background. That's very good. Yeah, those are all great things to learn. Okay, so I have some lateral lines around the outer edge of this. And that's something neat with the shading point. Depending on how you turn the burner, you can either get really dainty thin lines or chunkier lines. So that's pretty cool. Lines are not cooperating. All right, Steve has a joke. A satellite is being launched to say sorry to the aliens. It's called Apollo G. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so this gear thing here is in the ugly duckling stages. It's not cooperating. Well, we certainly have a lot more projects to attempt over the next 100 live streams. That'll be a lot of fun. Okay, that gear is driving me crazy, so we'll just move on. Mina, you are rewatching the tree live stream. That's cool. Yeah, it's amazing how much information that we have out there already. So it's nice to have that library so you can go back and review everything. Okay, I think that's okay. Mina, you're working on a tree and you're able to refresh the wiggle worm technique. Awesome. Laura says you've rewatched them a lot too. That's great. All right, Steve has another joke. What did the band leader name his twin daughters? I'd have to say like rock and roll or something. I don't know. Lisa has a good one. Anna 1, Anna 2. Ah, that's very good. I've not heard that one before. Alright, so we're going to add just some light shading on this inner circle. With some darker shadows to the top. And then pull that gradient down. All right, that makes it look kind of a little bit recessed. Hi, Desiree. So let's see, on this little centerpiece, we have a touch of shading towards the bottom, and then we've got these dark rings underneath. Thanks, Barbara. The gears are kind of a pain because they're so tiny, but that's all right. We'll make do here. But yeah, getting this darker area up top here, that's going to really push that gear back, or this part. It'll make it look recessed. Estella is asking how was the cheesecake from our party. I don't think I had any. It was gone. The kids got to the cheesecake, but that's okay. I don't really need cheesecake. It's good, but the kids enjoyed the cheesecake. They said it was very, very tasty. We had a celebratory cheesecake last week. Barbara is looking forward to getting back into wood burning. I've been finishing up projects and scratchboarding colored pencils. Feeling the yearn to burn. Absolutely. These circles are just kind of not cooperating. But that's the nice thing about this steampunk design is that it's a little bit, if you have dented areas or misshapen gears, I think it all adds to the effect. Turning the wood would definitely help. It does add character. Alrighty. Yeah, no, they snatched the cheesecake pretty quick. By the time I got done with dinner, that was it. Terry, you're looking forward to getting back to drawing and burning too. You haven't done anything since last October. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's quite a while. So I have two areas of dark here. One is kind of under this big circle contraption, and one is the shadow of the circle contraption. So I'm going to try to leave kind of like a really light wispy line in there to differentiate between the two. There we go. And that light line will kind of disappear as it comes over here into the shadows. Okay. I think I'll be glad when I'm done with the circles. This is a little bit of a challenge here. Okay, so we have a little bit of a dark section up here. Kind of like almost all the way around this inner ring. And underneath this one here. So to create the illusion of this overlapping, we're going to have to change up our values and have it darker just below each layer. Okay. Some light shading on the next ring. And then we're going to pull these shadows up a little bit as they come around the curvature of the circles. Terry, you already hit the like button. Thank you. It's a weird angle to burn. Alrighty. Tell you what, this chain is going to be interesting too. It's very tiny. So let's pull some of the shading up and around this round part here. Terry, you've been waiting for the chain. Yeah, that'll be a tricky one. So we're just going to pull a gradient up and around the circle part. And that should give it its little three-dimensional look. You guys are kind of having some problems with the YouTube and the chat. Mina has a question. Mina says, I achieved the desired value, the shading, and the following day appeared lighter. Does that really happen, or is that just your perception? I've noticed that too sometimes. It's like I have the shading correct, and then you give it a little bit of time, and it does seem a little bit lighter. I don't know if that's just the wood kind of like processing the heat. We know that wood burnings fade, so I don't know if it's just a little bit of adjustment of the wood, but I would go back over and just hit it again. As we know that layers can really help to get the shading kind of more deeper down into the fibers of the wood instead of just on the top. So I think the fading, most of that fading happens on the top, and that's why those darker values that push down and sink down into the layers seem to hold and last longer. So going back over and adding in some layers is totally fine. But yeah, it can look a little bit lighter the next day. I've noticed a difference, like with our live streams. I'll be working on a project and then come back the next week. I'm like, wow, it does look a little bit lighter here or there. So a little bit of adjustment and touching up layers is, layering is helpful too. Okay, this circle thing here is going to take me a little time to kind of clean up. By turning the wood, I can clean up those edges a bit. I'm not going to do it right now, but just to let you know that that's kind of really just roughed in there. Terry says the wood is drinking it in. Yeah, it's almost like it soaks it up. Yeah, the wood can get very hot, Mina. Estella says those did take time, but they don't look flat. Cool. Yeah, turning the wood and getting around on each side of the gears, each side of the circles, and kind of cleaning up these edges like this can make it look a little bit better. So it wouldn't take a whole lot of time, but you got to turn the wood. So we'll just move on. We'll get the majority of everything in place. So same thing on this next circle thing. It's a little bit more, it's not as crazy. It's more simplified. So shadows towards the bottom. Each layer has its own little shadow. And then you'll want to just kind of hit these lower areas with a soft shading. And then it creates like a little bit of a stair-step effect. Kind of like that. So that one went pretty quick. Alrighty. Laura says, looking very three-dimensional. Awesome. That's what we're after. This is a great opportunity to create that push and pull effect with your values. Okay. What next? Alright, let's work around that chain, guys. So Larry says that in October, I'm going to do a local street festival. Cool. You're saving up to buy another one of the wall panels. That way they can stand alone when you connect them. They're expensive. They are very expensive. The pro panels, but they're kind of like the industry standard for those art fairs. Most everybody has them. They are nice and lightweight, which is really cool. Because anytime that you're at a festival or a fair or something, you have to sometimes take your materials from the car to the fair, and sometimes you can't park very close. So lightweight is good. I was a bit concerned about how to clean them because they're just fabric. And I had a vendor behind me at one fair that's what they do. They live in a camper, a big one, and they just travel around all year long doing fairs. And I asked them how to clean them, and they say they just take them outside and hose them down with a garden hose. So I think they must have a plastic core, and then you've got like the fabric on the outside. So they're nice and lightweight. They come in different sizes, and you can either get just like one single tall panel, or you can get two shorter panels that you stack on top of each other. I wound up getting the two smaller ones just for the fact that I didn't have enough room to lay them flat in my my vehicle. So if you have like a pickup truck or a trailer, something like that, the large single panels are easier to, I think, sometimes work with. But depends on what your setup is. But yeah, those pro panels are way cool. They install very easily. You've seen them probably here in the studio. I'll use them from time to time. The cats like to scratch on them, and so I had to take them out because they were starting to destroy the panels. And when they were kittens, they would just go straight up. You couldn't hardly keep them off of there. So I'm starting to make this bolt look a little bit more recessed. It might help if I zoom in on this chain. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Maybe that helps. Larry, you got the smaller ones, yeah. I just did not have... What am I doing? That's not what I'm wanting to do. Oops. Oh well. I made a problem with my bolt, but that's okay. It's just barely visible in there anyway. And if you really mess up, just darken out the whole thing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do with this chain is just go around it, kind of block it in. I think I'm gonna have to turn the wood on this one, guys. To get around these edges, I want a nice crisp edge. So I know last week we were talking about how to do more detailed projects like the soldiers. This is kind of the same thing. We have a lot of different textures in a kind of a small area. I think, you know, turning the wood and making sure that you keep kind of a nice crisp edge is helpful. But lots of little tiny details. So just take your time, work on one zone at a time. I know we were talking about how easy it is to get overwhelmed, and so sometimes we just focus on a little smaller part of the project. Hi, Mellow Yellow. Vivian, you use the word oops a lot too. Yeah, it happens for sure. When working on detailed stuff like this, sometimes it's hard to keep. Hey, Lex!
Okay.
Thank you. So yeah, just keeping your spot is a big challenge when working on detailed stuff. So for something like the soldier or this raven, the more detail that you can transfer on in your transfer stage, the better. It will definitely take some of the guesswork out and make things a little bit more easier to follow. You thirsty again? Alright, now we're upside down. Ah, we'll go right there. But this chain is all about negative space. So you gotta just burn around it and keep those edges clean. And you can see I'm using kind of like a little, like a rabbit would hop. Just a little hop, hop, hop to go around these individual chains. This isn't quite dark enough. I'll have to go over it and hit it again with another pass, but I can do that later. This is just fine for what we're trying to do. And then we have some little odds and ends inside here, some little wing tips or feathers and other negative space to burn around. Oh. Meta says, your brain revolts when you burn negative space. Oh, wow. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. But it is definitely a different way to think about things. You know, if we were painting, you could paint all this area in really dark and then just go back in and paint in the white chains, but not with what we're doing here. Okay. I'm going to switch over to the little point, the pro point, and we'll get some of this blocked in here a little bit quicker. One of the most crazy projects that I've done with negative space was a kingfisher that had dove into the water and was coming out of the water with a little tiny fish, a minnow or something in its mouth, beak. And as the bird emerged from the water, it threw water droplets everywhere. And I did a black background, but I burned around each of the water droplets. So that was a really, really good exercise in burning negative space, because that took me a long time. But it was very good practice. Now normally I would want to add like a little bit more detail in here, even in the dark shadows, to kind of break up that monotony of a single layer. So you can block it in with a single layer of darkness and then go back over and add, you know, even though it's all dark, I would put like more of a darker area under this gear and kind of change it up a bit. But okay. Larry, you remember that piece? Yeah. I added color to that one too. It turned out pretty neat. Okay. Nope, one more. Alrighty. Okay, we're about done blocking this in here, and then I'll put the other information into the chain. Okay. All right. Angela, you remember the Kingfisher project too. That's awesome. Yeah, that was definitely a piece that pushed me out of my comfort zone, and that's pretty much how I kept learning, was to pick a project that was just slightly beyond my current abilities, and just to see if I could do it. It's like even now there's still some projects that are a bit challenging that I don't know that I could even do them on camera, because it would take me a while to really sort them out. But those are fun, and I look forward to doing more of those challenging pieces. Okay, so now we can see a bit more of the chain. This may be one of those ones that I'll have to kind of figure out as we go, because I don't know if I've burned chain before. Stay. All right, well, let's see what we can do here. So we definitely have more negative space inside of the chain. So I'm going to try to focus on putting those in first. Some of them have a little bit different shape. This is like crazy tiny, so if I need to zoom in, please let me know. And in some cases this chain is a little bit thin, So keep, how do I say this? You can always, we want to keep the white part of the chain a little bit more chunky for right now, because we'll make it smaller as we shave down the edges. And then this is going to fade into the shadows right there. I think the closest thing that I've done to chain work is braids. So I did a wood burning of Captain Jack Sparrow, and he had braids. Like in his little tiny beard, he had a couple little braids. So that was a good kind of a project that was very similar to the chain work, just how it's got some darker areas and then it overlaps. Okay, so up here I might kind of expand the darkness in the center and make our chain just a little bit thinner on the edges. All right, next we need a little bit of an overlappage. Trying to see where to put it. I'll try to put it maybe on the downhill. So you're just going to add in a little bit of shadow kind of on the lower side of these chains, each link. And then I'll maybe pull a little bit of a gradient up in some of these places. Everything is so tiny, it's probably a good idea to maybe turn your burner down because it's easy to overburn some of these areas. But when I go back and I add in the dark area and kind of reburn that, that should kind of help a little. But remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to even match the reference photo quite perfectly. We want to just create the illusion of chains. So I don't know how well we're making that, but if we zoom out, I hope it looks like a chain. Okay, that's okay. And then you can always kind of go back and scratch them in if you need to. Now this one over here is a little bit more of a challenge, I think, because you're looking at the chain in a different way. But I'm still going to start with our kind of our void. Thanks, Lisa. I think once you zoom out, it still creates the illusion of chain. I don't know. You can always go back and scratch in, and I might do that with that lower chain and see about maybe trying to pull some of the highlights back out. And now this one we have like, gosh, like a link in the middle. Okay, well, that looks okay. Like I said, I've never burned chain like this before, so we'll figure it out as we go. A bigger project would definitely help on this one. A bigger like size piece of wood. And then these chains over here are going to kind of disappear into the darkness a little more. Okay, I think that one actually turned out better than the first one. But they look like you can actually see the links in this one right there. The other one is kind of like, I don't know, twisted or something, so it looks a little bit different. But I think it'll pass the test for now. And again, this is all pretty rough in here with the shading. I think it looks okay on the screen, but it looks really patchy on in front of me. So I'll want to darken things up a bit. Okay. And then this part over here, we have a little bit more of a twisty chain. Move over a smidgen. I'm gonna have to turn this. But yeah, let's take a moment here and zoom out. I think that works overall as far as the chain effect. It's just really, really tiny. Bigger would be better on that one. Okay, back in we go. Oops, oops, oops. Thanks, guys. Yeah, sometimes you can overwork it, so try to maybe burn a little bit less. I definitely like that one there much better than this one, but that's okay. We can, where's my scratcher thing? We might be able to go back in and kind of scratch in a little bit more highlights here in some of the places that I don't like. And that would be fine too. Ta-da! So yeah, you can always go back in and kind of adjust it a little bit. Alrighty. Well, I think since we're here, we'll just kind of keep going. Oh, nope. Nope, stop it. Okay. I might zoom out a little bit and we'll start working on that wing, and then I'll come back over and fill in the rest of the chain. Oh, thanks, guys. I think it turned out okay. So with all this dark feathered area, I'm going to go back to the Pro Point and see what we can get laid in. Lisa says that I'm off the chain, LOL. That's fun. Okay. So we have just lots of dark swooping lines here. Swoop. And this area down here is pretty out of focus, so don't worry too much on the exact like texture and everything. We're just going to rely heavy on more of our values because the texture is pretty smooth overall. Tell you what, these repetitive lines, they always get me as far as concentration level goes. Just trying to really stay on focus. I love like wood burning wood burnings of birds. I'm very like drawn to birds. But I tell you what, the repetitive feather thing, every time I get into a wood burning of feathers, I think, why did I do this? I don't like burning feathers. But I love how it looks like when it's done. So that's probably why. But birds have just such a sleek, clean shape and a very elegant design. I think is pretty cool. I think that's why I'm drawn to the birds. And they have wonderful eyes like owls. I love wood burning owl eyes. I could just make a series of eyes. I don't know if that would be kind of creepy, but I think it's pretty darn cool. So do we have any questions as we're kind of progressing through this project? It has quite the variety of shapes and designs and textures, a lot of different values in play. This is the second time that I've wood burned a raven. I did a really close up, kind of like a headshot of a raven one time. But I think this is only the second time that I've done a raven wood burning. We can go back and add just a touch of shading on some of these other feathers. So really remember to overlap the feathers and pull that gradient down from the top down. That'll really help to give these feathers some nice depth. And let's see. Lisa is asking, have you sold any of these live pieces, or do you have a huge collection of burned art? I think I've sold 2. So other than that, yeah, I just have a box full of wood burnings. I think I sold the elephant, and then my aunt, she loves roses, so I think she bought the rose piece. The welcome with the rose that we did a long time ago. It was like our 4th or 5th live stream, something like that. So I've sold 2 out of, I think this is like the 40th project. And normally I do sell work quite a bit, or I used to. I've just not been on social media much these last couple of years with, life and all that. I just haven't had the time to reach out. But that's generally how I sell most of my originals, is just I post them on Facebook and in different groups. And I have a few collectors that like pieces as they come out. So, but financially everything is. I know a lot of people are struggling. I think most people are struggling financially right now. So, I'm just not even putting much out there. After our big announcement later today, here at 7:30 my time, I'll start in on our big announcement. After that comes into play, I'll probably start doing more, social media and kind of reaching out online. And hopefully I can sell some projects, because this last quarter is definitely my biggest sales time, with Christmas right around the corner. People are still looking for unique gifts, and so to wood burn for a few years or even a few months, however fast you are, and then kind of build up an inventory and then push it for Christmas, or just share it for Christmas. You don't have to push it, but that is a pretty good thing for me, and I've had good luck with selling projects here in the last quarter of the year. Alrighty, more feathers. This part of the bird here is going pretty fast, so that's nice. Hope that one wasn't supposed to be really dark. Oh well. Oops. We'll just keep moving on. Lisa, you say you have quite a few projects. Also, you're hoping to find a vendor market. Cool. Yeah, and that's the other really cool thing. If you do craft fairs or like outdoor art fairs, it helps to just kind of hunker down and build up a nice big inventory of projects, and then try to make a lot of sales in 1 or 2 or 3 days, because it's amazing how at certain shows you need a lot of inventory. And your hope and your goal is to go home with an empty booth, but I don't think that always happens. But it's nice to have a good amount of projects for people to kind of look through. Another thing that I've heard is a good tip when you're doing like an art fair is to kind of keep a theme. So if you have a wide variety of work subjects, like you've got some pet portraits, you've got some wildlife, you have maybe some portraits, art and crafty things, sometimes it can make your audience think, wow, number one, they're very versatile, which is cool, but number two, it's like, where do they really kind of specialize in? Some people are drawn to your booth because they love animals. And if they get in your booth and they see a lot of portraits there, then they're going to be like, well, I'm not looking for portraits. And that's kind of a tip that I heard from somewhere as far as photography as well. So if you have photos, try to offer kind of a theme, like scenic, majestic mountain photos, and your booth is full of them, or beach photos. But try not to get too many different subjects going on. They say in more like high level art booths, but craft fairs and stuff like that, it's easier to kind of open it up and have a little bit more variety. So I think it depends on whether you're going to be in more of a craft level kind of affair or a more high-end artsy kind of affair. I don't know, I've heard it both ways, so just something to kind of mull around as far as thoughts. Terry is asking, what kind of desk chair do I have? This is a gaming chair. It's backwards, but it says S Racer. I got them on Amazon. I finally gave up my old squeaky chair that I usually burn in, and I gave it to Alexis. This is my office chair, so it's comfy and it's not very noisy, which is nice for filming. But I initially got these kinds of chairs for my kids for their, schoolroom and computer stations and all that. And I liked them and they were comfy, so I got one for myself. And they come in different colors and all that, but I'm kind of a black colored kind of a decor person. Alright, so we're going to create some overlapping on these feathers here with just a little bit of a swoopy shadow underneath. Swoop. And it doesn't have to be perfect, like mine are maybe a little bit more shadowy than the picture. So just kind of go with it here. And let's switch back to the shading point and kind of blend these out a little bit more. So as we get to the top of the stack of feathers, you want to keep more of it lighter and keep your darker ones kind of down below here. And this needs a little bit more shading in here, but we can work on that as we go. So I don't really see it here on this. I don't know if I want to, I'm trying to think about how I want to create the overlapping effect. I think I will. I'm going to break from the reference photo and make it a little bit darker as these feathers that are lateral are going to dive under that wing. So I'm going to make them look a little bit darker. That'll push them back and hopefully it'll tuck underneath that wing. I think that'll work. You can see how easy it is for that pro point to almost go a little bit too dark sometimes. So some lighter shading on the wing point. Touch more on the outer edge here. And then that overlapping shadow. And you can pull that gradient down a little bit and blend it out. same thing up here. I might exaggerate the overlapping shadows here a bit more. Thanks, Lisa. A little rounded. It's almost like some of these wing parts here are metallic, which is pretty cool. Cynthia says, this is really helping you with the cardinal wings. Very good, yeah. You have the structure in there perfectly for the wings. You just need a little bit more shading. Generally, when you have overlapping of the layers here, you can see how I create that overlap with some shading here and then darker here. So every time one set of feathers kind of ducks underneath another, you're going to want to almost exaggerate some shadows. But your structure and everything looked really, really good on the wings. Just a little bit more shading. Push your darks a little bit darker, especially in the areas that is going underneath each wing. So that overlap is where you really want to play up your darks. And then just pull a little bit of a gradient downward. So right here, we're pushing our darks, pull that gradient down. Kind of like that. You're very welcome, Cynthia. So we have a lot of dark areas up in here. And then just pull them down. And then these feathers right in here are kind of a little bit too bold. They stand forward too much. So I'm going to, now that I have the dark structure in place, I'm just going to gently burn over the top of these and darken them up, and that'll push them back so they look like they're nestled into the bird. Okay. We're getting there, guys, on these little feathered areas. Still, I'm going to add a little shading on this edge and tuck these feathers back underneath that wing. And so this is kind of very similar to scales on a snake or an alligator, is that you're going to have these overlapping areas that you just want to kind of pull the gradient down on one side. So that's another project that I know that we've talked about, is wood burning, something with scales. Okay. These things need to get pushed back. Alrighty. Let's take a quick zoom out and see how we look. Whee! Alright guys, so that is looking pretty fun. Pretty cool. Definitely want to hit some of these dark areas a little bit more. If I get closer, you can see that the dark area of the chest is still pretty patchy. There we go. It's not near as dark up close. So next stage would be, you know, really pushing those darks back and cleaning up some of the other areas here as well. I would want to turn the wood burning and get these edges cleaned up on those circles. Maybe make like this chesty area of his upper neck, lower neck, upper chest, maybe push that a little bit darker too. But that's looking pretty good so far. Some fine tuning to do. Thanks guys. But now I think it's time to do the big reveal on a big change that I'm making to Patreon. So I know that we've been with Patreon for quite a while, basically for several years since I started, and Patreon is a very nice platform, and it also has some challenges that I've been struggling with. Mostly is like the ease of access for you guys, and as far as how you can easily find and locate some of the archived projects. And then we have, like on Patreon, you know, you just have to scroll and keep scrolling for forever to get to perhaps the project that you want. You may not even know all the projects that are on there because, you know, you've got to scroll for forever. Another thing that I've been kind of challenged with is, you know, we've got Patreon, and then we have the Discord channel where people chat, and then we have our Facebook page where people post their projects, and it seems a little bit disconnected and kind of scattered. So what we've been working on is a new platform that will replace Patreon. And the cool thing about this is it will have most everything all in one. And I'm going to show that to you guys here in just a little bit and kind of walk you through it. But it'll have a place where all of the past live streams are easily categorized and you can find them very easily. It'll have a built-in chat feature. It'll have basically like a Facebook feed page and everything as one big community under one platform. So if you guys want, I can go ahead and pull that up right now. So I'm going to turn this off because we might come back to this, but I want to show you this new platform and give you guys enough time to kind of take a look at it. So, no, stop. Okay, so I'm going to show you that now. Now, one of the biggest challenges that I am going to have is getting you guys from a paid member on Patreon over to this new platform. So I don't know if you've been on Patreon for very long as far as the intro page. I took off all the tiers. So nobody can purchase a new tier on Patreon, and that's why those have disappeared. So for the monthly users on Patreon, I don't see any kind of problem. You should be able to switch over just fine. It's the people that have paid a year in advance on Patreon that we're going to have to find a workaround. So I have created basically a free category for everybody on the new network because everybody's already paid up for this month. And then some of the people that have paid in a year in advance, they will stay in that free category until their subscription runs out. I hope that makes sense. Right now, you guys are the only ones that know about this new platform because I'm not going to release it to the public until especially the yearly users get switched over, because it'll just make it a little bit more simple. So I'm hoping to launch to the public the first part of September. Yeah, we're already August, so that gives us a couple weeks to get everybody switched over to the new platform. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you what we've got here. If I can get what I need to. Okay, now you can see my screen. Alrighty. Nope, over here. Okay, so here is the landing page, and our new community is called dun, da, da, the Bear Den. Since we are the Burning Bears, I just want to kind of see, can you guys see my page? I hope you can see the screen. Let me minimize that one and make sure that you guys can see. Can you see my screen? It should say, welcome to the Bear Den. Lisa says, yes, yes. Okay, cool. Just trying to get, you can probably still see the chat, but that's okay. So we are Wood Burning University, and we are the Burning Bears, and we have Bernie the Bear as our mascot. So our new community is called the Bear Den, which is a nice double meaning because, you know, bears like to be cozy in their den. And a den is someplace in the house that's just very nice and cozy for us too. So come on down here. Here's our Burning Bear project that we did, Home of the Burning Bears. And then we'll scroll down here and it talks about, you know, kind of what Wood Burning University is, what the Bear Den is, and why to join, and all that. And I'll give you guys this link here in a bit. But for right now, I just kind of want to show you guys everything. And then down here are the plans. So, hi Kitty. So on Patreon, most everybody is either $10, $15, $20, or $25 tiers. I do have some $5 tiers that were grandfathered in, but I don't offer that anymore. So everything is 10, 15, 20, and 25. Now, one of the biggest challenges, or not challenges, the differences between these is like what content you'll be able to access. So if you are currently a $10 member, you would want to come right here to this bronze level. It says $10 for Patreon members only. So everybody's paid up this month, so you'll just go here and go to access. And oh, that's why it's slow. I'm live streaming, so it's thinking. Oh, come on, be nice to me. I had this all planned out, guys. So, come on, load. It loads really fast, except for when I'm live streaming. But anyway, you'll have a window here to where you can sign up. So right now I have to approve everybody in order to get in there. So you'll just put in your name. You'll create like a username, password, and email. Try to, if you can, keep your name the same as it is on Patreon so I can link them up and figure out who's who. My page is not loading. But anyway, once you request access, leave that window open. I'll go and I'll approve everybody and then just hit refresh and it should, oh, here it is. Now you can see. So it says create an account, first name, last name, email, password. And it says what you'll get over here. You'll get access to the bronze tier and it's free right now. Lisa says, what if I can't remember what level you are? Just go ahead and give me an email, and we can figure that out. This is really specifically for the people that have paid a year in advance, because some people will trickle off in a month or two. Some people are going to be on there for a while. So I'm just trying to make sure that you don't get double billed because you've already paid through Patreon, if that makes sense. Larry is asking, I will not be doing Patreon anymore. No, I'm switching to a new platform. I will leave my Patreon page up, and it will just redirect people to this new platform. So yeah, first name, last name, email, password, create an account, and then you'll just request access. And so I brought my keyboard here. I'll walk this through, so hopefully nobody has any troubles with this. I'm just going to create a test account. What have I got? I don't know. I have so many. Okay, so then you just, oh, it has to be, all right. Has to be 8 characters at least, and an exclamation mark or something crazy like that. Okay, so then you create an account, and no, we don't need to save it. At this point, you can put in a profile photo if you want, which I think is great. Right now, I'm going to skip it, and it says your request to join has been sent. Once, leave this page up. Once I approve you, just hit refresh up here, and it will take you right to the page. So, dun da da. Now I'm going to show you the actual platform. Okay. If I can get my windows to cooperate. Here we go. Other questions. Terry is asking, should your password be the same, the one that you used on Patreon? It doesn't have to be. It can be just whatever you want. Just write it down somewhere so that you can keep an eye on it. Larry has a question. So how do we go to the bear den? I haven't linked it yet. So if you look up here at the top, Mina, can you put this link? Oh, I can do it. I got my keyboard. So I'm going to copy the link. Now, the reason that I waited till the end of the live stream to do this is because I can't really approve people and do the live stream at the same time. Kind of, maybe I can. But anyway, oh, you followed the link. So yeah, the new page is wood-burning-university.mn.co. And that's how you get to that first page that I showed you guys. So the cool thing is, once you're in here, you can see over here on the left-hand side, I have all these categories that help organize our information. So the feed right here is basically like your Facebook feed. So yeah, this is where I would kind of approve people there. So it's a Facebook feed. I just have a single post right there. Sometimes we add like, you know, polls and quizzes and all kinds of fun things on there to think about. So that's your feed tab. Discovery is basically anything new that's going on. You can see members there. So right now we have me and Mina so far. And events. This is where you'll see where the upcoming live streams are going to be scheduled. And you can click through that to access the live stream. And then down here at members, you can kind of see who everybody is and where they are. And then you can like even select, so I could click on Mina and say chat. And so you could chat with individual members if you want. And then coming down here to the welcome page, it's just a little greeting as far as what we're doing here. And then here's your community. And the community is just, you got your feed, your discovery, events, members. It's kind of like this same thing up here, but it's just a place where you can kind of come together and visit. And then here's our chat feature. I don't have anything started yet, but this is where you would want to ask questions, get feedback, anything that you would do basically you know, just asking questions. So this chat would kind of take the place of our Discord channel. The community page would take the place of our Facebook channel. Now I'm going to keep the Facebook and the Discord channels up for right now, just so that we can still have that. And then down here we have the live streams, and they are categorized by skill level. So here we can click on beginner live streams, and you can see I only have 2 beginner live streams right now, but I am going to be adding many more. So you can hit this button that says collapse, and it makes your list just a little bit shorter, and it takes away the picture. And then you just click on, say I want to take a look at Christmas ornaments, and then you can say, okay, here's live stream part 1. I've also redone all of the live stream thumbnails on YouTube. So everything has a new look. You can easily access the which live stream number it is, and then you can either click here or here to access that individual live stream. And then you have project patterns right here, where I try to show kind of a little picture of generally what it looks like when it's finished, and then here you can access your patterns and all that fun stuff there. I have dings. Okay, so this is where I see Terry and Lisa, you guys are trying to join. That's cool. And I would anyway, I'll figure out how to add you guys in here in just a minute, okay? Let's see. And then level 2 live streams would be your intermediate ones, and you can either scroll with everything expanded like this to see the pictures, or you can collapse them all and just kind of browse through like, oh gosh, you know, I really want to make a snowman. And so then you can click on the snowman and it pulls up our project and the live stream, and everything is all there. And same thing, advanced patterns, advanced live streams. We've got quite a few of those like that. The newer ones will be at the top, so you don't have to scroll clear to the bottom to get to the newest projects. The older projects will be towards the bottom. So here you can see we had like 6 parts of the mischievous mind, and then your pattern and all of that. So then we have another category called adding color live streams. So this is any of those little odds and ends kind of live streams where we just added color to a project. So if you're kind of stumped on adding color, go ahead to this section and it can help out with that as well. Then we get down into the gallery section. This is some of our finished live stream projects, and these are going to be in order from when we made them. So you can see, you know, we did the realistic eye, the simple dragon, Into the Wild, lighthouse, and all that. There are a lot on here, but you won't be able to see these, but down here towards the bottom, there are some that I haven't finished yet. As soon as I finish those, I will post them onto the finished live stream project gallery. Next up is the member gallery. Now this is where you guys get to add your artwork. So in order to submit an artwork, click on overview, and you can see this woodburningyou@gmail.com. Go ahead and send your wood burning art photos that you want to share in the gallery. Just send it to this email and we will post it in there and include your name. So Mina has that email in there as well. woodburningyou@gmail.com will let you submit to the gallery. And then you guys will be able to scroll through and all that and see everybody's work. Next up is our video resources. The YouTube videos that I've done, everything that's free that's on YouTube is all here in one area. So I don't know, there's quite a few. Some of them are a little bit older, but there's a lot of great information here as well. Terry is asking, will we be able to go back in at some point and change our profile pic and our password? Yes, I think that is all very user-friendly. So that's adjustable and you can kind of change that up. Lastly, right now we have video shorts. These are just YouTube shorts that I've made over the years as well, and just something fun to kind of take a look at. So, and then if there's anything that you guys want in this new platform, say, hey, I really wish we could have like this kind of a category or that kind of a category. something like that, it would be, really cool. And this is pretty flexible. So just give us a shout at that woodburningyou@gmail.com if you have any requests or questions. Mina has a great point. This same platform comes in an app format. So it's Mighty Networks is the platform. Mighty Networks. I don't know, Mina, if you want to put that name in the chat for us. The Mighty Networks. So anyway, I hope this kind of simplifies everything. I would love to hear what you think on this new platform. Do you like how it looks, how it's laid out? I'll also be able to add full courses in here eventually. We can do, I think, Zoom meetings in here as well. Terry is asking, so is this where you're going to start the live streams now? Yes. During this transition period, I'll have links everywhere. I'll have a link here in Mighty Network to the live stream. I'll have a link also on Patreon for those people that are still trying to switch over. So I'll have it in both places. So hopefully everything should be easily accessed. Okay. So Vivian has a question. Do you have to cancel on Patreon or does that transfer automatically? So it will not transfer automatically. And this is going to be the biggest challenge of all of this, other than setting all this up, is the transfer over. So Vivian, if you paid for a year in advance, I will keep, once you get signed up on the Bear Den, I will keep you there until your Patreon subscription expires. And then I'll, tell you that you need to renew. Should you keep the page open until... Yeah, that'd be fine, Lisa. I'm going to, hold on. I'm going to take away my screen really quick, and I'm going to, there we go. I'll go back to here, and that'll give me a chance to approve everybody that's tried to join in yet so far. One other thing that I want to, hang on, let me see here. Okay. So I'm getting everybody approved. Now keep in mind that as we're switching over to this new platform, your pledge level will be determined as far as like what live streams you can access. So if you join in the beginner tier, that's a $10 tier, you're only going to get to access the beginner live streams. So that is kind of a thing. I know on Patreon you join for $10 and you have access to all the past live streams. That is going to change like next month at the 1st of September. Right now, yeah, I'm not sure as far as what you guys can all see, but let's see, other questions, and I'll get back to that. But honestly, the premium live streams for the $25 tier, you get, oh my gosh, weekly live streams of 2 hours each. So, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 8 hours of instruction for only $25 a month. Plus you get you get access to everything on the platform. So if you're really interested in seeing all of the skill levels, I would encourage you to go with the $25 a month one. That's the diamond level. That way you can get everything on the site. Everybody else gets everything, but you just would get, advanced live streams and below, or intermediate and below. But everybody has access to the welcome, the community, the chat, the gallery. So I'm trying to make it accessible to everybody as much as possible. Another thing is, at the 1st of September, I am going to take live streams back to free on YouTube, because I would like to reach out to more people, and then to access the archives, you'll come here to the Bear Den on Mighty Networks. So I see we have some questions, and I really appreciate everybody just trying to be patient during this crossover time. And if you have any troubles whatsoever, just shout out an email to that woodburningyou@gmail.com. and we'll sort it all out. I know it's kind of a pain to switch platforms, but we'll take you by the hand and walk you through. So questions? You guys think it looks good? Okay, so Vivian, I would not cancel on Patreon right now. It depends on whether you signed up for like a year, and I have a list of who all signed up for a year, and when the shoot, I'm lagging. No. Okay. Why am I lagging? Okay. Okay, sorry. We had a little bit of a lag there. Hopefully you can hear me now. And I just turned off that camera to try to keep things simple, so... Darn it, this is not the time that I need lag. Are you guys doing anything?
Huh?
Are you guys doing anything?
No, but I've been lagging out of my thing for a while.
You're lagging too?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see if we can't get everybody off the internet for right now.
Okay.
Because this is pretty important and I've got some questions here. So Terry is talking about Zoom. You can't figure that one out. Okay. Jim is asking if you're on monthly on Patreon, how do you cancel that? That's a good question. And that's something that we will figure out. We have the next couple weeks to walk everybody through the switching over, and we'll show you how to cancel on Patreon. But you might leave it up for right now. I guess you don't have to, because you'll still have access until the end of the month, I think. So Lisa, you say you paid a year in advance, but you can't remember when you started. I have that information. Barbara says, can we change up our level from bronze after this rolls out completely? Yes, you will be able to upgrade. Here, I would really want to get everybody kind of switched over to the free access because you've already paid. And then, yes, you can upgrade to whatever tier that you need to. And I have those tiers made. I just haven't turned them on, so you can't see them yet. But I want everybody to just kind of take a little bit of time to move over to this, and then we'll get everything updated. I just don't want you guys double billed is my big thing. So we'll figure this out. Next question. Meta is asking, are all of the live stream projects going to be transferred to the new platform? Yes, they are all there right now. If you can't see some, it's because your tier level is probably, if you're a $15 tier, you can only see beginner and intermediate live streams. Hopefully that makes sense. Larry is saying, can we still purchase patterns from Woodburning University? Yes. Woodburning University is going to stay as is, and I'll put some promotional stuff on there to get people to come over to the Bear Den. But the Woodburning University is where the patterns are and where all that stuff is. The Bear Den is like our community where we can kind of come together, review past live streams, and chat, and otherwise have that connection. So Barbara, after we get switched over, you'll want to cancel your Patreon. And like I said, I've turned off all my tiers so nobody can join Patreon anymore. So it's just you people that are there now that we're going to just slowly roll over and get onto the new network. Angela, so I'm going to do 2 live streams a week. Probably. I'm going to keep our weekly live streams on Friday for bigger projects like what we're doing here. I will start a beginner burn along series that will either be once a week or once every other week. So the people that are in the $10 a month tier, right now, like I said, there's only 2 beginner patterns and projects. So I'm going to start doing some more weekly live streams to build that inventory of beginner patterns for those people. More questions. Yeah, this is a little bit of a new thing, and that's why I've been really avoiding moving from Patreon, is because just getting everybody switched over is just going to take a little bit of work. Cindy is asking if I'm going to do a live stream for each tier per week. Like I mentioned before, I will start a beginner weekly live stream, and then just keep our other live streams that we're doing on Fridays for like intermediate, advanced, and premium projects. I don't know that I can do a live stream for each tier per week. That'd be a lot. So just trying to get started here. So Cap Sarah High says, what does each level allow viewing? So the $10 a month tier, you get all the community. Everybody gets all the community, the chat, the member gallery, the free YouTube videos. That will all be accessed for every level. The beginner level, $10 a month, is beginner live streams. Sorry. The $15 a month is intermediate live streams and beginner live streams. The $20 a month is advanced live streams, intermediate live streams, and beginner live streams. The $25 tier, you get all of them. So you get the premium live streams, the advanced, the intermediate, and the beginner. So we're kind of trying to base it more on skill level as far as pricing. Barbara is asking, so will we not have the Facebook page after this? I'm going to probably phase those out. They'll be up for right now. So that and the Discord channel, everything will kind of rotate the same, stay the same until we get more everybody switched over. So all very, very good questions. And I have to have a huge shout out and a huge thank you to Mina. Mina has been helping me on the back end of this platform, and she's put in a lot of work on helping me get this set up for you guys. It would not be ready if it weren't for her. So everybody give Mina a big round of applause and tell her thank you. And I really appreciate her and all of her help. And thank you everybody for all your support. If I know times are tough right now, so if you can't afford the monthly thing, that's why I'm going back to free live streams on that night. But after the live stream is over, you won't be able to access that live stream. All the live streams will be archived over on the Bear Den, which is hosted by Mighty Networks. So I hope that helps answer your question, but that's the big announcement. It's a huge switch in our platform, and I want to give you guys the best experience and the best platform. Because, I mean, you guys are paying for all this, and it seemed like such a frustration on Patreon. Patreon also takes a big percentage of your pledges, which I don't like, and so by switching to this new platform, I think it will help everybody as well. Okay, so please reach out if you have any questions. I would say maybe next week we can kind of walk you through how to cancel your pledge on Patreon. If there's people that want to access the paid tiers or upgrade now, I can go turn those on. It will not say free at the bottom. It'll say 10, 20, 25, that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, thanks, Michael, for upgrading. And if you guys want to do that right now and upgrade right now, that'd be fine. I can't. So if you're already at the $10 tier on Patreon and you want to jump up to the 15, you're going to have to pay the full 15 now, unless you just wait until September and then you can just let Patreon expire and pay the 15 or 20 or 25, whatever. I hope that makes sense. So do we have any other questions right now? I know this is a new thing, and we'll walk you guys all through it. You guys do belong to some other Mighty Networks out there. Cool. Oh, yeah. So, hang on, Lisa. Let me get back over there. I minimized that window because I had... Oh, okay. So, let me see here as far as pending. And guys, right now for this month, for September, if you want to access the $25 tier for free, just go ahead and ask, and I'll let everybody in. You guys are the only ones with the links. So if you want to see the whole big platform, the $25 a month platform, just go and request the $25 right now. At the 1st of September, I'll probably take everybody down, and then we'll just we'll sign up like normal from there. And let me see who else is trying to get everybody requested in here. 15, 15. Okay, so I'll make sure that everybody gets approved tonight. Larry, when do you cancel Patreon? You can cancel right now if you want, or you can just hang in there and wait until like the 1st of September. Well, don't wait till the 1st. Cancel on like the last week of August so that you don't get rebilled, because everybody gets billed on the 1st of the month anymore, I do believe. But if you want to cancel right now, you can cancel Patreon and come over to Mighty Networks. Yeah, exactly, Mina. Do not wait till the 1st of September. Cancel that last week of August so you don't get double billed. And if you want to cancel now on Patreon, go ahead. That's fine. And yeah, we'll get everybody moved over. But anybody right now, all of you guys, if you want to request access to that premium tier, the gold, no, it's the diamond tier, the $25 one, just ask. And I'll get everybody in, and then you can kind of play around and see the whole platform and see what's there. So, any other questions? And next week, towards the end of the live stream, I'll kind of show you guys as well as far as canceling and all that, or anything that you need help with. Okay. Looking for questions. I think I have everybody's questions answered. But I'm super excited. At the 1st of September, I will open this up to the public, and we'll try to get our community building and do that. Terry, yeah, if you do the $25 tier for right now, it's free. Everything at the bottom says free access. This is just in our transition time to get you kind of used to the platform, and then come the 1st of September, we'll try to get everybody in the tier that they want to pay for, if that makes sense. But right now, the doors are open, so go ahead, take a look, get used to the platform, and let me know what you think. All right, bye, Larry. Okay, if I don't get to your question tonight, just send us an email, woodburningu, the letter U, @gmail.com. Okie dokie. All right, thanks guys. So excited for the new community. Join me on the Bear Den. Take a look at it, and we will see you guys all next week. Good night.